All right, theoretically, we are live on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you very much for joining us. If you are watching later, thank you very much for watching us. And if you are listening to the podcast, you don't hear this part because I haven't hit the record button on the audio podcast
Ooh,
yet.
look at
So
there. Yeah.
this is special for anybody who joins in, and you can also watch at double speed on YouTube. So there, if you can understand what I say, because normally I talk at double speed anyway. So good luck. Get 4
You
days
talk
worth of podcasts in one
you
day.
talk at double speed. If you listen at double speed, then it's 4 times the
Quadruple
speed.
speed. Right. You will get a lot of nonsense in a little time.
Well, that's kind of our shtick, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
0 to 60 and
All right.
stupid.
We're back from Dragon Con, and we got a few things to share, but I think we're going to share most of that on the Patreon show. We'll get into the regular show. Craig, give me another sound check real quick.
Checkity, checkity, check. Hello. Hello.
Hey, everybody, let me give you one of
Turn the
these.
volume up a little bit on this.
Okay, that works. All right, I think everything's working.
So we got peoples.
We got
Oh, look,
peoples.
Michelle Cook Lopez.
Oh, Country Signs is joining us.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Take a drink.
Take a drink. I've got unsweet tea.
I got a little teeny fireball. Donna filled it up. I just saw it sitting there. I just took it.
She filled it up.
She did.
Hello, Michelle. It's good to see you.
Clinton's out there.
That's right.
Roberson, boop. Boop. And I think we're ready to recorder. That's like French for nothing.
Right.
That's bad French. I did make a mistake when I was setting up the stream. Instead of clicking Technorama Facebook, Technorama YouTube, I clicked Technorama Facebook, topic strike YouTube. So at 6 o'clock, it comes up and goes, and then I deleted them from StreamYard, but it doesn't delete them on the other end. I'm like, what kind of stupid delete is that?
Yeah, I use my YouTube subscriptions page a lot. You know, when I go to look for new things to watch.
Yeah.
And when I pulled it up, I saw 3 different Technorama. I was like, wow, how many shows are we doing tonight?
2 on the Technorama and 1 on the topic of strike.
Yeah. How many shows are we doing tonight?
So hopefully, let's see. I should have only gotten 1 notice from YouTube that said, good. Okay. Episode 685 from Technorama podcast. I cleaned everything out the way it should have been. Yeah. That and wrestling with this crazy monitor on this end that didn't want to cooperate.
Yeah.
A lot of rebooting going on around here. Some of it for unknown reasons.
I only see 1 now, so we're good.
Buenos nachos, John Miller Jr. That's Spanish for good nachos.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we begin episode 685?
Wow, let's do it.
We're getting old. We're getting real.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel it every day.
Uh-huh. All right, let's do something we never done before.
Oh, really?
Episode 685.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wah, wah. All right, in 3, 2, 1. Technorama episode 685, The Hangover. Hey, welcome to Technorama. This is the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If you're listening for the first time or watching for the first time, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And if you are returning, welcome back. We appreciate you giving us your time. My name is Chuck Tomasi from Phoenix, Arizona. And right there, that man right there.
What?
That's Craig Stepp.
Okay. Oh, that one?
How you doing, Craig?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm off to a good start.
I'm alive.
Doesn't matter what time of day it is. I'm always off to a good start.
That's right.
Well, yeah, you are alive. We survived Dragon Con.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
We got back, and life is good. I mean, it was a bit interesting. You probably read the comment.
The comment? Which one?
Craig unfortunately had to go home early for reasons.
Yeah.
In the Patreon show, or do you want to tell them now?
Yeah, might as well. So, Saturday, Saturday morning we had the parade, and I felt a little off, but I was like, okay, I thought maybe we just didn't sleep enough.
Heat stroke could have been anything.
Heat stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah. sleeping is optional at Dragon Con. And so I was fine during the parade. I was running around during the parade. I was working both sides of the crowd trying to make some noise. See if we can beat the other side. Yay. And trying to get
Yeah,
people
that
to,
was fun.
yeah, I was doing all that. I was running around. So I felt fine until that evening. After around dinner time, what we were trying to eat, which that's a whole nother thing. Gibney's was crazy. Busy.
It wasn't crazy. It was just, yeah, it was bad service.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So I started getting kind of tired at that point. I was like, something's not right. And then
I
you had your
tried to cure you with beer.
yeah, we tried to cleanse me with beer, but that didn't work. And I was like, I got to call it. I got to go because I knew we'd be up really late because we were going to go to do your karaoke. So I knew we'd be up to
Oh,
about
that
2.
didn't go late. I was in bed by 3 AM.
Yeah, I know, right? So see, I knew, right? I knew. I was like, okay, we're not going to be done with that at like
That was
2:30.
that was smart of you.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
called it.
thanks for leaving me to walk home at 2:30 AM in the dark
Sorry.
Atlanta scary streets.
Yeah, right. So I was already in the bed and out, and then actually when I was laying in the bed, it's like, okay, if I have COVID, I have no option to leave. I got to leave, So
Yeah.
at least wanted to sleep the night, and then I was gonna get up first thing and take off, and I did, which kind of left Chuck and Clinton in a bad spot because we had our Technorama comedy forecast show Sunday afternoon. I was like, there's just no way, even if I went against my gut to just leave, there's no way I could have just sat there with a fever like that.
You've been sitting at the panel table.
Yeah.
That's okay,
So
Craig. I had you covered. You only had like 2
I'm,
lines, and I did my best Craig impression.
I'm sure you did.
You wait till you hear the recording of that.
Uh-huh.
Actually, a couple of people, I think it was Gary and Joe, both came up and said, "You should do an entire Technorama show where you switch voices. You do Craig and Craig does Chuck." I said, "Maybe a Patreon show.
I'll have
That
to
may be
go.
worth something."
I'll have to go work on my Wisconsin um, slightly Canadian accent.
Yeah, this ought to be good.
Yeah. So anyway, so I took off and I had to drive 4 hours. I would rather have been home anyway because I was feeling sick. Um so I took some ibuprofen, hit the road, and I made it home all right. And I've basically been in the house. I've taken the dogs out for walks because I'm not really interacting with anybody.
Kim have to sleep in a separate room?
Well, luckily Harrison's back at school, so I slept in his room for the few nights that she was here, and she's been at the mountain house. So
Oh,
she
you
doesn't really.
slept in separate houses. That's
Yeah,
even
for the
worse
most
than
part. Yep,
Donna
pretty
got it.
much.
Okay.
So only for a couple days we were in the house together.
I can't I can't I can't really make fun of you because when I had it, Donna and I were in separate continents.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's right. That's one way to. That's
There's
keeping it
social
safe.
distancing at its best.
Yeah.
I'll just stay about 17 hours away from you.
Yeah. But I wasn't. To be honest with you, I've been worse off sick before. Like with a flu or something. So I was okay. I wasn't terrible. Um, the fever is obviously the worst part of it, and after that, I was like kind of be a little tired here and there, a little tired here and there, and stuffy here and there, and that kind of thing. So I'm
Amy
all right.
thought I did a pretty good Craig.
I know. I see that. Thanks, Amy.
And Michelle wanted to know, did you actually have COVID? You tested positive.
Yeah, I tested when I got home,
Yep.
and it said positive. So pretty much it.
Yep. And my son-in-law had it, and Donna was on a cruise, and her cabin mate had it. So Donna got a new room.
Well, what's funny also is Joe, our buddy Joe, was quick to point out pointed out was on our last Patreon show was that I talked about how I hadn't had it the whole time. So, which I didn't say I was invincible.
You jinxed it. You've been dodging the bullet so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit like a video game. Sooner or later, everyone gets nailed.
Yeah. So it was funny. It was I just said that even the doctor was surprised I hadn't had it yet. And he said, "You might be one of those people." I'm like, "Well, it'd be nice to know, but I can't live like that." But sure enough, I did finally get it. And
there were many other highlights to Dragon Con other than Craig leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't a highlight.
Say okay. Yeah. No, we had a great time. The parade turned out great.
Had a
Or,
couple of new people. Had a couple of people that had been there in the past that did not show up, but a lot of the regular crew was there, and it was sad that this was Scott Tyler's last year as Santa. He sort of
that's right.
invented the Santa role back in 2014,
Yeah.
so we had to have a farewell to him. We will be turning over the Santa to Gary Lindros has agreed to pick it up,
After some
and,
training.
well, he had a training before. We'll have an official ceremony.
No, I was kidding. I said he has to go through some training before. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there's gonna be a coronation, kinda like Prince Charles becomes King Charles III
Here,
thing.
put your head down here. Hit him with a bottle of champagne.
Well, no, Farnsworth is gonna knight him with the
Febreze.
fingerlapper.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sure this is delayed comment, but we have to hit him with some Febreze.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Clinton, that's pretty funny. You should start a comedy podcast.
I know. Should really give it some thought.
I could hear him going, "Hey!"
Yeah, that's right. But we had a good time at our Topic is Trek panel on Friday.
Yep.
Let's see, what else did we do? Of course, the parade, like I mentioned. We had some new people. Uh, tell them about the karaoke.
Karaoke was fun. We, started I walked into the room and, knew that it had poor cooling, so it was gonna be a hot one,
Oh
and I
yeah,
had
right.
already walked from the embassy suite, so I was already soaked, and they get into this hot baking oven of a room with 90 people in it. Uh, there were people already in there that I guess they went to the previous session just so they'd have a seat, uh, but I said, "What are you people here for?" They went, "We're here for you." I went, "Oh boy,
Oh
this is gonna
yeah,
be good." Last year was just word of mouth. It's like we put out one tweet and we had about 45 people. This year was actually on the schedule and we had about 90 in the app, and there were more in
well,
the room that were kinda coming and going.
I told you on Facebook, somebody had said, "Hey, is there gonna be any karaoke?" Or,
Yes.
"I don't see any." I was like, "Well,
You
actually,
aren't
there
looking.
is."
If you
Uh,
search for karaoke on
right.
the Dragon Con app, you get at least 3.
Well, who knows how they were spelling it, but, so
Good
I
point.
I commented and says, "Actually, we are," and I said, "Be sure to look at the thing, it's in the digital media thing,"
Yep.
and I had a bunch of likes. So I was like,
Cool.
"Okay, I know that there's gonna be a good many people there, even if,
It was a
you know,
lot of fun.
some
We
people show up."
Charles came in, we got the room kinda situated the way we want. And, we started just before 10. I think my song was sort of a trial to check the audio. The amps that were blasting audio to the room were really tinny. There was, like, no bass on
Mhm,
any of the music, so they did the
right.
best they could, and, people were signing up as I was singing my first song, and then, by the time it normally, like, says, "Oh, Chuck's 2nd song will be placed at the end of the list." It said, "You are now 51st in list." I'm like, 50 people had signed up while I was singing my song.
Yeah.
That was nutsoid. And then I did discover a bug because it says down in the lower right corner how many minutes you can expect to wait for your turn. Well, I never really had a queue longer than an hour,
Thought you were
and
gonna
it
say it
chopped
was like,
off the hour.
what
It's
was that
it
Windows error that says, it's gonna be 300,000 days,
No, it was the inverse of
or
that. It
hours.
falsely
Yeah.
indicated it should have said, like, 3 hours and 15 minutes. It just said 15 minutes. I'm like, "There's no way you're getting 51 songs in 15 minutes." And then
Yeah.
when you count down and then roll over, you're like, 57, 54, 50, because it's summing up the total of all the songs in front of you plus a minute of interchange, and it just is an estimated wait time.
Right.
Eventually, we did get through everybody at least once. There were a number of people that did not show in the last hour, so we went until about 2 PM 2 excuse me, 2 AM. I said, "I'd love to do this all night, but hey, we do have a show at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon that we
Yeah. "Oh,
kinda
we'll
need
be
some
done by
rest."
then.
Yeah,
Keep
well,
going."
uh, we finished up, and Crazy Joe stuck around till the very end, and we looked at the room and said, "This place is a disaster." Chairs were
Right.
all messed up, there was garbage from all
That's what
day.
happened last year, remember?
It
And
wasn't
that
just
was,
our people.
yeah.
Well, we were in the overflow room. This is the main room this time. So, there were cups and masks and postcards from somebody's podcast, like so we it wasn't hospital grade, but at least it was presentable, and I wasn't
That's not
embarrassed to
great.
walk out of it. I didn't want Charles coming in the next morning going, when you have a party and you wake up the next morning going, "Oh, I wish I'd
Yeah.
cleaned the house."
Well,
Yeah, that's
even
what it's
last
like.
year, they let us use it out of the good graces of being
Yes.
nice, so we had to make sure it was clean because we didn't wanna leave and then, leave it in a state like that,
Yep.
you know?
So, it went well. I suspect we'll be able to do it again, out of the 3 panels I was on, that was the most popular.
Wait,
I discovered 2 things. One, I was wearing my white uniform from Star Trek on Saturday.
Yep.
The one from Insurrection where they're doing the formal dress thing, and
Yeah.
I have 4 magnetic pips on my right collar. Well, I lost one at Gibney's, so I got there with 3. I've been demoted to commander.
Right.
And then sometime during karaoke or shortly afterwards, I lost a second one. So now I'm down to lieutenant, I think. I'm not getting magnetic pips anymore.
Keep it up. You'll have to apply to Starfleet again.
And when I got home,
yeah,
my comm badge is also magnetic. Only the backing of the front kind of wore out because I was so sweaty that it was like corroding this thing, and it left a rust stain on the white uniform, and I cannot get that stain out. I'm really bummed. So
you just got to put the insignia in the same spot every time.
Maybe if it'll stay there.
Yeah.
So I've tried everything on the internet to get it out. I may take it to the dry cleaners and go, please. There's Donna says, count how many you have and see if she doesn't want me to replace the jacket.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, all right.
You just wear a regular white jacket. What?
No.
Right.
All right. Let's get on with the rest of the show, shall we?
All right. Let's do it.
All right. We have a little bit of feedback from last time.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters.
We need to have people do our panels for us.
Yeah. That's the best kind.
Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters. I love those letters. Let's find out what you got. Mailman. Mail today.
Our question of the week last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, because we had a live show, which we will get aired sooner or later. Not sure how
okay. I'll say, have you posted it where I can get it, or
no, not yet. We haven't got the recording of that one.
Okay.
We have the recording of the topic as Trek, but I haven't processed it yet. We have our question was, what is something the internet has ruined?
Everything.
Well, not everything. It's made some things better. Mike Robeson says, gaming. You used to be able to work at a game and figure things out on your own. Now there are usually somewhat questionable hints, cheats, and tutorials. Or the moment you actually start making progress, someone, a being, aka swear word of choice, who has, I forgot this, click to see more, who has brought all the special gear, wades through and decimates your character you have been working on for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can buy just to obliterate your friends. It's like,
right.
Not the best. What else you got?
Well, let's see. Trampus Whiteman says civil discourse.
And Doug replies, Trampus, along with uncivil discourse, it's like the people are getting into arguments about things that aren't even trying to be intelligent with their aggressions. Bam! Straight to ad hominem attacks.
Yeah. I've just gotten to the point where I feel like I know what I think about things, and I'm not worried about anybody else's opinion. You can't you're not going to win an argument on Facebook.
No.
So
that's why I don't get into them.
That's right. Now, here's one that I am okay, so Melissa Bartell says spelling and grammar. Now, I'm no English professor, but I'll tell you something. If I can see errors all the time, there are errors all the time.
Hey,
especially the grammar.
I make the most errors when it's on the mobile device. I cannot type on that little keyboard.
No, yeah, right. I do the same thing, and I always have to follow it up with the fix. But no, I'm talking about articles, where somebody typed up an article and you go,
you mean like comicbook.com?
No, something more reputable. Like even on well, I started to say CNN, but I said even more reputable. MSNBC. No. Anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah. Steve London says humanity. Humanity is the internet has ruined humanity. Wow, that's pretty dark.
Yeah, it's kind of dark. I don't know if it's ruined that, but sometimes it puts a damper on it.
Give me another one.
Well, here, this is your sister, Martha Tomasi. Privacy.
No relation.
No relation. Privacy, common courtesy, and the Dewey Decimal System. Yep.
I like the Dewey
trifecta right there.
Nobody has to know the Dewey Decimal System anymore.
That's right.
My brother-in-law's brother, keeping it in the family, Terry says, critical thinking, public debate, and memorization as a skill.
You know what? There's some things that I do find that I will go look. I'm more apt to go look up than try and think about it. You ever do that? You go, well, let's just look it up.
Yes.
I mean, rather than trying to remember it.
IMDb while I'm constantly watching a TV show or movie.
Yeah. John Miller Jr., he's in the chat over there, says movies and TV shows by spoiling the plot points. Amen. Movie and TV show piracy. Yep. I've complained on here, but Chuck takes difference with what I was going to say was that even just scrolling through the Facebook feed, I see something spoiled. Just the headline itself spoils the show because I'm going, I know what's going to happen now.
Yeah, you've got to put together the news stories. I'm just going through Facebook. I don't see that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks because the show comes out today. Okay, I'm gonna try and watch it tonight or something like that, and then you scroll down. It's like, son of a, there's the something alluding. Alluding. You go, oh, I know what happened.
Stay off Reddit.
I don't think you know what I'm talking about, but yes, you keep.
Weber Baker says, waiting for an actual piece of meaningful physical mail. Well, maybe receiving. I'm still waiting. Hey, speaking of which,
wait, I wait on Amazon.
Our postcards went out. It is fun getting actual piece of email, or I mean, physical mail. Aside from, it's time to replace your windows. Like, we get a mail from Renewal by Anderson about once a month. They already replaced every window and door in this house and the guest house. There's nothing left to do. Stop sending us mail.
It's not like you magically made a window.
Or bought a new house. If it was, you wouldn't be sending it here. They had to just go, look, this address in Phoenix, don't send it for another 20 years.
Yeah. Well, Weber, I'll say, I think that Amazon has supplanted waiting on physical mail because how many times have you been going, oh, they said they'll deliver it by 8 o'clock.
It's 7:45.
I know. I need my wick. What's a jig?
I need that dress shirt that I'm going to wear in 2 weeks to the wedding.
I need that Star Trek uniform and wear to Dragon Con
next year. Yeah.
No, it's like the week before you leave.
Well, that's just your own dang fault, procrastinators. I have no sympathy for procrastinators. I know.
Sorry. I figure if I hadn't ordered it at least 2 weeks before, I don't really need it.
Nope. I'm already thinking about what I need for the cruise in 166 days.
That's right.
I got to get more pips. I may have to replace that jacket, and I got to look at how I can make that badge.
I make my own pips, man. Make your own.
Next year, I got to replace the bald head for Farnsworth. Oh, I told my pastor about that, by the way.
Replacing your bald head?
No, not replacing my bald head. I told him about adding a Bible to my gimmick. As I was going down to Farnsworth, good news, everyone. I said, have you heard the good news, everyone? Yeah. He thought that was pretty funny.
Some people thought it was funny.
My parents, there were people that were just cracking up. And then there were other people like, whatever. So they either didn't get it.
Yeah.
Or thought I was just being a little bit too in their face evangelizing.
That's right.
It's a joke, people.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if you told your pastor this, but I will bring this up since we were still kind of talking about Dragon Con a little bit. Is that I first off, I'm publicly apologize to Clinton for leaving half of his costume at my house and didn't bring it.
Nixon's head.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. There's some parade accoutrement that I did not bring. But what I did want to talk about was that, I was like, yeah, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot that. And then I was like, wait, I don't have his broom. I was like, I can't believe I didn't think about that until just now. So I said, all right, that's where I draw the line. I'm going to go find him a broom. So we go looking around and we go over to the church, which is the church that we're parked in front of, actually. Sorry, my throat's getting a little dry. And they're giving out coffee in the parking area. It's the parking deck right there, and it's where everybody stages for the parade. and they're giving out free coffee. So we go over there and we ask them, "Can we please borrow a broom?" Well, they're like, "What kind of broom? I don't know. I'm not going to be picky. A broom, anything, be fine." And so they start looking around the house. They start looking around the church. We stand there for about 20 minutes. They end up bringing one out. Sorry,
it was a big Swiffer. It was kind of a mop thing. It was sort of push broom shaped, but it had like a cover on it. So we removed the cover, and it looked actually more futuristic with just this plastic frame.
So we gave the church $20. They didn't really want to accept it, but we gave them some money.
Where's your collection plate?
Yeah, they didn't have one, and so we ended up with the broom, and I did deliver it back and put it right there at their door where their little intercom system is at. So they were super nice about it, and even when I saw on Facebook in the Dragon Con group, they were like, "Hey, can you believe these people were giving out coffee? They were great." And everybody was cheering them on in the comments.
Giving out brooms?
And I said, "Here, I'll tell you what happened." And I put that out there as a comment, and they were like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And I got a lot of likes from that. So they were very nice about it, even though I don't think they quite
Kudos
understood.
to you, North Presbyterian Church.
Yeah, I don't think they understood what I meant by asked into the parade, but but they helped us out anyway. So it was very nice.
See, you guys got a story out of it. There you go.
I knew we'd have a story out of it.
Last one in that question of the week is from Lone Guys Nights, and he says, "New movies," which is
ruins
absolutely
it.
correct. We already kind of covered that.
Another letter from our listener, Dave.
And on we go. On this day in history for September 14th, 2022, it is the 257th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 108 days remaining in 2022.
Wow.
It was on this date in 1741 that George Friedrich Handel, he completed his oratorio Messiah.
And 270 years ago today, the British Empire adopted the Gregorian calendar, skipping 11 days. We don't need these.
Nope.
And the previous day was September 2nd.
There you go, Unix geeks. Go to the command line, type in cal space 1792. I believe 1752.
Right.
And see what it says. You'll see like September is really short. Okay. Also on September 14th, 1954, in a top secret nuclear test, the Soviet Tu-4 bomber dropped a 40 kiloton atomic weapon just north of Totskoye village.
Wow. It was also on that
There's
date.
better names coming up.
Yeah, I'm sure. It was also on that date in 1958 that the first two German post-war rockets designed by the German engineer Ernst Mohr was reached the upper atmosphere.
Suddenly I want to sing David Bowie, but I'm not sure why. September 14th, 1984, Joe Kittinger became the first person to fly a gas balloon alone across the Atlantic Ocean. I remember that.
And it was also on this date in 1998 that the telecommunications company MCI Communications and WorldCom complete their $37 billion merger to form MCI WorldCom.
Oh, and what was Sarbanes-Oxley was born out of that nonsense later?
I think you're right.
That and what was the other place? Not Tyco. Anyway, there were a few places that were doing like insider trading and whatnot.
Right.
Bad bookkeeping. It was 22 years ago today that Microsoft released Windows ME.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not all these events are good. Nuclear tests and Windows ME.
Yeah. Give me Windows 98. That was a pinnacle right there. It was also on that date in 2015 that the first observations of gravitational waves was made, announced by LIGO and Virgo collaborations on, I started to read it exactly, 11 February 2016.
Happy birthday goes out on this date to Danish geographer and cartographer Claudius Clavis. That sounds like a Roman emperor. He was born in 1388.
It sounds like one of those names on the Rankin Bass Christmas commercial, Christmas special. Born September 14th, 1713, German astronomer and mathematician Johann Keyes.
Alexander von Humboldt, the German geographer and explorer, was born on the same date in 1769.
And American physicist Carl Taylor Compton was born 135 years ago today.
Oh, here it comes. Good thing I practiced this earlier. Let's see how I do. Born September 14th, 1891, Russian mathematician and academic Ivan Matveyevich Vinogradov.
Very nice. It sounds right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Ruby Scher, the American physicist and academic, was born 109 years ago today.
American actor Clayton Moore, the Lone Ranger. He was born today in 1914.
Eugene, is that an I or L?
The first? I don't know.
Eugene 1, Gordon, L? I don't know. Eugene Gordon, the American physicist and engineer, was born 92 years ago today.
Stupid sans serif fonts.
Yeah. Why don't you put a line through it like everything else?
Also turning 86 today is American actor, producer, and screenwriter Walter Koenig. Nuclear Whistles.
That's right.
We saw him on the cruise.
Isn't he going to be on Picard? Everybody else is.
I think everybody else is.
Yeah,
I don't know about Walter.
American physician and pharmacologist, Nobel Prize laureate Fried Murad was born on the same date in 1936.
1 year later, born that same date in 1937, Italian architect and engineer designed the Shad. That's the triangular-looking building in London, and the New York Times building. That's the New York Times building in New York. His name is Renzo Piano.
And Northern Irish, New Zealand actor and director Sam Neill is 75 years old today. How about
Mr.
that?
Jurassic Park, the original
That's
one.
Right. That's right. Sam Neill.
And Amy Winehouse, English singer-songwriter, was born the same date in 1983. Listener birthdays this week include Andrew Peters on the 14th, a.k.a. Pearl Hacker from the UK. Jeff Schultz, a.k.a. Gorbash, is on the 18th, and 2 birthdays on September 20th. Well, 3 if you count my older sister. Joel Harper from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Joel Rickenbach. Maybe it should just be National Technorama Joel Day.
Right.
Oh, says deceased. I guess Joel passed away at some point.
Oh, no.
Somebody must have updated our wiki. Thank you. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family, and we apologize if we missed it in previous years. That's the way it was on this day for September 14th. If it's your birthday and you want to be on the birthday calendar, you know there's one way you can do it, and Craig's going to tell you on the video at the bottom of the screen.
That's right.
But if you're listening, it's going to be Technorama, no, chuckchat.com/birthday. I got this.
Something like that.
You can do that while the music plays out. Wow, we timed that one perfectly. That's the way it was on this day in history. Thank you, Cleveland Book Club.
Right.
We're doing that during karaoke.
Oh, by the way, whenever I think of Sam Neill, I think of the Omen movie. He was in like Omen 3, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Those movies creep me out, man. When I was a kid.
Wait, wasn't there a Damien on our birthday calendar? No.
He's probably on there. Who knows?
I swear I just read that name. All right, let's read some good news.
News, everyone.
All right, we have some good hot news, everyone.
Good hot news, everyone.
From CNET. Don't get me started. I honestly thought that there was a line in the bulletin as the pastor was reading this morning. I just told him the story about the Bible and Farnsworth and Good News, everyone.
Yeah.
And it said in the church bulletin, the first line of his opening prayer was, blah, 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 good news. And I thought he was going to say everyone. I was really disappointed.
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
I would have started laughing from the back in the video booth.
You know what? When I was a kid and I was in church, I remember looking at the carpet and seeing patterns in the whatever the carpet
during your acid trip.
I'm kind of staring at it and you kind of see things. And so as we were leaving, I told the pastor, I said, hey, I was staring at the carpet and I could see things. And my dad was like, you're telling on yourself.
You're gonna have an exorcism come by. Like, we'll send the cardinal over with the
my
whole
thought was there. Chuck's not paying attention. He's telling on himself.
No, we've got speaking of patterns in the carpet, that's what a lot of these look like. I'm going to try and pronounce this. Inui solar telescope. Got some
Yeah.
nice views of the sun that they're starting to publish. Some look like kind of patterns
It-
in a shag carpet or fur on an animal.
or a skin condition. Maybe they're looking at it really closely.
Yeah, one of them looks more like bacteria spreading, but
Yeah. This is the COVID model.
good
Uh, the-
stuff. Good stuff.
No. Let's
there's-
zoom in on
these are just-
the chopped garlic.
These are just teaser images. I like the animations where you can actually see like the
Moving.
photosphere or the chromosphere or whatever sphere it is, just kind of seething and boiling, and it's pretty amazing.
It is amazing.
So yeah, the sun is an amazing thing. It's not like the Earth where you have like a North Pole and a South Pole. The magnetic lines of the sun are really whacked out. They
I didn't
like
pay attention
loop
to that.
around or they go out and they don't do anything. It's like it looks like this. If you were to take a ball of yarn and then twist it around itself and make a big knot and then start clipping off some ends, that's kind of what the sun's magnetic lines would look like. Some just stick straight out, some
Right.
loop back on each other. It's
kind of moving, right? I mean, inside the fire.
Do you know it can take up to 100,000 years for a photon to get out of the sun? It
Really?
like bounces out and goes back. It's almost like the path of a hailstone in a thunderstorm. You know, they go up and down and all around it. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, check it out.
I will.
I don't know how they know that because you can't see inside the sun.
Who was there to tag it when it was born?
And go.
They go tag its ear and then let the photon finally come out.
Yep, that's the one. Well, it gets absorbed and reabsorbed. And anyway, I'm not a solar astrophysicist.
They go-
Messed up yarn balls.
That's right.
Cats. That's what I'm going to say. Yarn balls and cats. All right. We also have another space story from China. Actually, it's from Slashdot, but they tell us about China. So China sent up a rocket in 2020, the Chang'e 5 mission, and they brought back some stones and believe they found a new mineral.
Interesting.
So a mineral called Chang'e Y was found in a rock and dust samples retrieved from the moon by their latest mission. The nation's first mission to return a lunar sample, which launched a couple of years ago in 2020. Interesting stuff that we're still making discoveries about the moon.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's out there with no atmosphere. I imagine lots of different little meteors have hit it, obviously, over the years that it's been around. So
this thing is tiny, though. They said they had to. The particle was about 10 microns in diameter, about 1/10 of a human hair. Like, okay, that's pretty.
How do you see that? I mean, how you go? Oh, I missed this.
I'm wondering if they were like
Spectral
blasting it with like a mass spectrometer or something, and went, "Whoa, what's that?"
Yeah, right. We don't recognize that.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Why don't you call them up and ask?
That's why they're doing this and we're not, because if you listen to us, we sound like a couple of idiots.
And they're not doing a podcast though. So
that's true.
We got them there.
That's
Everybody's got their specialties.
Right. They can do a podcast if they want, but are they?
No.
No,
but I'll sell them a book.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the hacks and strange stories then. This one's kind of fun because, we're all familiar with how SpaceX likes to send up rockets and then reclaim the first stage on a barge where it lands vertically, almost like a 1960s sci-fi movie.
Yep.
Well, lo and behold, this wonderful young engineer student, what was his name? Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Oh, I was just looking at the pictures.
Just look. And anyway, he built a model rocket. It's about a meter tall. And it does basically the same thing. It took him 7 years. He started building this in 2015. Failure after failure after failure. And he said, I wanted to do this because I knew I would learn something. It's like he learned a lot of somethings. Right. And that's the way, I don't know about you, but I do a lot of personal projects just for the sheer learning.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, let's go do something I enjoy and I want to pursue. And it's a challenge. And then when you get there, you go, okay, I learned a ton of stuff. So he actually got
usually for me, it's the things that other people want to do. They don't know how to do it. They come to me and I figure it out for them.
And then you learn something.
And then I learned something by happenstance. That's right. That is pretty cool. I like
Oh,
this.
Barnard, that's his name.
If you go look at the let's see about the 6th picture that they have in the list here, it actually shows it going up, and then
Right.
the different pictures of it in stages as
It,
it's
it
coming
only
back
goes
down.
up like 100 feet or so. It's not going terribly high, but it fires the main rocket, then it coasts for a little while, then it fires the retro rocket, comes down, deploys the legs, no parachute, and lands.
Yeah.
So kind of what you would expect, only a lot of times it didn't do what he expected. I mean, there was
Yeah.
software involved, there was custom circuit boards involved, there was all kinds of milling machines. I mean, he hit every aspect it takes to build a rocket like this. It was pretty dang impressive.
It was impressive.
I
Yeah,
don't know who
good
funded
check
it, but it was a good time.
go check it out.
Yep. Episode 685 over at chuckchat.com/Technorama. You'll find it there. Should we give a quick shout out to our chat room?
Ah,
Yep, that's the way it goes. We've got, we mentioned some of these names earlier. Clinton Alvord, Michelle Cook Lopez, Mike Robeson, John Miller Jr., Amy Bowen was in there for a little while. I think most of these people are still hanging around. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And I think that's all the names I see. There are obviously some people that are in there
see
that
our buddy
haven't said
Clinton.
hi in the chat, but we wish
See
you.
Clinton Alvord. Did you see Clinton?
Yes, I did.
All right.
You were screaming or scrolling or something when I was talking.
Actually, I don't know if anybody. I'm sure everybody. A lot of people saw it by now, but the Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes.
I watched it again the other night, and they had the screaming goats on there.
Oh,
my God.
they got a little annoying, didn't they?
My favorite part was when they hit that little planetoid.
Yeah.
It looks like it looks like they're going to go to it, and it's like bam.
They run away. That was for comedic effect only, but it got to be a little tiring after a while. All right. If you want to join us live stream in La Chat, that's French for cat, by the way.
La Chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pronounced chat. That I know from The Cat in the Hat. Remember? Do you remember that song? Cat. He says, cat, hat in French, chapeau.
Oh,
in
yeah,
Spanish,
yeah.
I'm el gato in a sombrero. Okay.
Yeah.
In German, I'm a Katze in a Hut, don't you know? All right, I'm going to stop there.
Thank you.
I'm having flashbacks. I don't even know where that came from, but
Right.
join us Sunday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'll get the right time zone out one of the 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. We've only been doing this for like the last 11 or so years.
11
on video.
Oh yeah.
We started 2009, 2010, 2011, somewhere in there. We have videos as far back as 2011 that you can go back and watch. Not sure what happened to the earlier ones. They're kind of lost to time. And
we were using different accounts, and I think
different
rather than trying to copy them over, we just
let them go. They weren't that good anyway.
Yeah, we did you a favor.
Welcome to Technorama.
That's right.
So let's go on with, we did Hacks and Strange Stories. That means Remember When is next, right? Yeah, man. This is a fun one. Did you watch the whole video?
I did. Oh my God, it was fun.
Okay, this is an old video Craig found on YouTube called The Dial Comes to Town. It's like from the 50s when a rotary phone became a thing. You no longer had to pick up the daffodil phone and said, Clara, patch me through to my friend Bob. And there's people on the party line. I liked how when he made a call to his friend and he has this little trick. Really? There's something happening in the sky? And his friend goes, that's a pretty funny way to get the people on the party line to run out onto their front porch.
Yeah. Oh, that was hilarious. You know what? I was watching this and they were kind of fretting over, or at least the old people were fretting over going to the rotary system. And I was like, oh, wait till they get to dial tones.
The dial tone sounded like an emergency broadcast system.
Well, I'm sorry. I meant touch dial. But yeah, when she picked it up says, and you'll hear the dial tone. Like, what?
Yeah. So
kind of dial tone is that?
I mean, there's a lot of levels to this that I still appreciate. There's organizational change management. You can't just dump a new computer system into your company and go, here, use it. You have to have training. You have to have, buy-in. You have to explain and demo.
Yeah.
And demonstrating the rotary dial on this ginormous rotary dial. Yeah, and all of the details about don't force it as it goes back. Just put your finger all the way to the
I
finger
totally
stop and
did.
let it go.
I always thought I would go back faster.
So the town shows up to this town meeting about here comes the rotary phone, and 3/4 of this video is them sitting in there and
demoing the thing.
Grandpa Itchy is sitting there in the audience going, I don't know about this.
This newfangled technology, they always got to change things up,
But then at the end, of course, they show him sneak out into the hallway and call his friend. Yeah, hey Ed, I got through on the first try. It works pretty good and pretty clear too. It was, oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, we got that new high fidelity line in.
Yeah, I think we got fiber optic to the curb now.
Oh yeah, right.
It's kind of humorous. It's about 20 minutes long, but if you want to see, what people thought that it would take to bring in a new technology like this. It's kind of humorous in one standpoint. She goes a little deep in some parts, like, oh, when you release the rotary and it goes back, it's sending a series of pulses to the main switch. And then she starts to demonstrate, like, if you dial a 5 and it lights up 5 lights, and then you dial a 6 and
when
it
you
lights
hear
up
the
6
dial
lights.
tone, it'll be between 350 and 400 hertz.
It was like,
that was more like it sounded like a klaxon or some kind
of dial tone was like the ringtone was the dial tone when he broke it. So it was like and the busy tone was it was all the same buzzing. It was terrible. I mean, when I was younger, you remember the dial tone? It was like this dual tone.
Yeah.
It was fun, but there are elements, as somebody in the technology field who has to roll out new technologies and implement them, and there were elements in there that they got right in terms of change management and socializing and a demonstration. I mean,
I think they did that all right,
beyond basic, but
the training delivery, I thought they did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
even though the dial tone was a little discombobulating.
They didn't have a Q&A though. I thought, we'll just throw this.
Okay.
And you can look up the number in your new directory.
Oh yeah, it looked like
that
a
thing was
pamphlet.
maybe 20 pages long. Like, this town must have 16 people in a bar.
It was like a small comic book.
And all the numbers were 4 digits. Did you pick up on that?
Yeah, I did. That's right.
I remember when I was younger, they were 7, but you only had to dial 5 because they all started with 2 something.
I never knew really a time where there were less than 7. So,
did you ever encounter the letter prefixes?
No, not here.
Yeah, they used to. I don't know if you remember the song. Was it the Carpenters sang a song called Beechwood 45789?
Yeah.
Well, the Beechwood would be like BE, so you would dial. On the video, they didn't have letters associated with the numbers like that at first.
Right.
When I was in Marquette, Michigan, everything started with 22, and they said capital 50410 was our phone number. And I looked at my mom and said, I don't know how to draw a capital 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know about the letters because I watched Hee Haw.
That explains a lot.
BR 549.
Oh, Junior at BR 549, right?
Right. That was his number. That was his. What was it? His car deal? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Earl Scheib. I forgot.
Yeah. So
it's a fun little video. If you got 10 minutes, watch it on double speed.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Probably better on double speed.
I started to go look for when does touch dialing come to town.
Clinton had another one. Pennsylvania 65.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So yeah, a lot of fun there for us old farts. But yet for the new people, there's elements, like I said, of things you can watch for that are still ringing true.
You know what? Right. Hey, you know what's funny? It was how thinking back on it, especially when we got modems, how backwards compatible the phone system was. Because even though we had touch dialing, you could still do a lot of the rotary stuff with your modem. It would,
Yeah, some of the modems had a switch, whether you want to do tone or pulse.
Yeah, or setting. Yeah, that's right. And which I know for years I even switched it over to pulse, and it still worked. A couple
Did you
times.
know you could actually use the hook switch before they went to digital phone technologies? You could use that and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you did it fast enough,
Oh
you
yeah,
could
that's right.
dial those numbers.
Yeah,
That's all it
yep.
was doing a make break switch connection on the line. It was just, but yeah, that when you release the rotary, the ones that used to freak me out was like the slimline phones that had the rotary in the handset. You'd pick
Right.
it up,
Oh
and
yeah.
when you got to the finger stop would move a little extra. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
did I break it?
No, don't go too far. That's right. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, either baby blue or avocado green. They came in those two colors, and that was it.
Pretty yellow.
I never saw a yellow one. I only saw
You
like
never saw a yellow phone?
powder blue or the avocado.
Well, I wouldn't say they ventured too far off the rainbow. But yes, you're right.
John Miller Jr. says, your modem has a pulse. It's alive.
Yeah, it's alive.
I had to get avocado so it would match my refrigerator.
Yeah, who wants a yellow phone? Well, the yellow would match, I guess. Green.
Yeah. After your white refrigerator turns yellow.
We have plenty of phones that are white too.
We still have a lot of shows to talk about. We got to
yeah.
get to the patrons first.
That's right.
We got a lot of stuff left to talk about. Thank you to our patrons. They are the people who keep our show going. And as I mentioned, we just sent out our postcards from Dragon Con. So hopefully everybody's starting to see those show up in their fine little mailboxes. A little longer for the international customers, of course. But thank you very much to Alexis Duran, Amber Elstad, Amy Bowen, Abner Braverman. Oh, some people got them in person because they just happened to be at Pizza Friday.
Yeah, they were there.
So we're so cost conscious. We said we can save a few stamps by handing these to people.
That's
Gary
right.
appreciated that. Ben Vaughn, Brian Brown, Chris Martinez, Chris MC, Dan D-Man Coyer, Dean Jensen, Denise Inglis. Thank you, Gary Lindros, for recognizing our cost conscious savings. John Clifford, John Noble, Yorga Shrawan, Crazy Joe Adventures, Kyle Nishioka, Leon. We saw a lot of these people last week.
Yeah, we did.
Mark Kilfoyle, Matt Baum, Mike Wills, Saturday Morning Media, Stephen Weshy, Steve Therian. Thank you, Steve Cody, Steve London, and Tim Cook. Everybody who supports this show, your money goes to keeping the stream alive and keeping
us alive,
bandwidth and hosting and domain registrations, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and bailing us out of jail.
As a thank you, we send out postcards. We're working on getting the t-shirts out to our $5 members. And you get a special episode of Technorama that we record right after this, which I think comes out on Monday. So it's a bit upside down, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
Where Kreg and I just sit back and it's like the backstage pass to Technorama. That's our. You can get that. Craig's going to put the link on the screen, and I'm going to tell you it's patreon.com/Technorama podcast. So if for as little as $1 a show, when we don't have a show, you don't pay. Hey,
you didn't pay last week.
Yeah, they paid. All right. They paid.
Well.
Okay, let's cut that off. And we have Pass Me the Remote next, if I remember right. Ooh, we got a lot of them. We're going to go through these quick.
I'm reaching.
You want to alternate or you want to go your
Where's
three?
The remote? Where's the remote? I'm trying to reach in.
Boom!
Ow, good. Yes.
You want to alternate or you want to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3?
Let's alternate.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Do your first one.
All right. So, I was laid up all last week. Well, not all week. I did work most of the week, but I took some of my downtime and watched The Boys. I actually watched it most of that all in one sitting. The Boys on Amazon Prime. I thought that was.
Did you already watch season 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
you finished.
I should have said
me this week.
I should have put season 3 on there. I watched season 3, and I thought it was really well done. You know, they do like to blow up bodies throughout the whole thing. You know, I was telling
I like to do a lot of gross stuff in that show.
I was telling I think my buddy Fred or somebody like that. I said, you know, once they do that a couple of times, you go, whoa, and then it's kind of like, oh, there goes another body after a while. But yeah, it's pretty pretty gross in that respect.
The,
But
the whole hero-gasm thing was bad. What'd you
yeah,
think of the karaoke party?
right,
I still want to get that audio clip where he goes, "This is going to be good," and the other guy
right.
says, "It's karaoke. It's not supposed to be good."
That's right. That's right. No, it was I thought the show was really well done. I thought it improved a little bit from the previous seasons, even though those were also very well done.
There were a
So
lot of Homelanders and Starlight at Dragon Con.
yeah, they had some. Yeah, there were. I was gonna say they added some depth to him a little bit. Made him a little more complex than just being the one badass guy that nobody can take out.
It's nice to
And
see
that
Jensen Ackles in something other than Supernatural.
oh, that's right. Yep, he was
Soldier
uh,
Boy.
Soldier Boy. That's right. So yeah, I thought it was really well done. Even the characters that were brand new, they brought them in and they fit right in with the story. I thought it did a great job.
All right, my turn. Amazon
right.
Prime, The Rings of Power. It's a prequel to Lord of the Rings. I am not done watching it. It is coming out Friday by Friday by Friday by Friday. Episode 3
Right.
came out. I have not had a chance to watch that one this weekend yet. It's next on my list. And episodes 1 and 2 are mainly surrounding Galadriel's story. So she is young, like a teenager, and very interesting story. Visually amazing, like most Lord of the Rings things
Oh
are,
yeah, it is. Yes.
and love the story. Can't wait to see more. So what's
Yeah.
next on your list?
I'm also watching that too. I don't think I've seen episode 2 yet. Actually, what happened was last week when I got home, I said, "All right, I'm gonna go watch this episode." And I watched the first episode of Prom, and I
Mhm.
woke up and I think I dozed off, and I woke up. I was like, "Uh, it's still on." I went, "Oh, there was 2 episodes." And I didn't
You need
realize.
those Netflix socks that pause when you fall asleep that
I
we talked
know.
about a couple of years
Yeah,
ago.
but yeah, from what I saw, it looked really cool. I'm gonna go back and watch it. So I
Yeah.
watched which is I know universally people have said this is not a great movie. It's a Marvel movie. It's one of the Sony Marvel movies, where Marvel was kind of tied to it a little bit.
Mhm.
But Sony did their own thing called Morbius, and basically the guy is trying to cure himself and his friend from some of the genetic issues they had, and they basically turns them into vampires. And
Vampire bats,
I'll be
kind of,
honest with you,
sort of.
once the movie was over, I'd already forgotten about it. It was
Really?
it
I'm
was
halfway through it. It's an interesting storyline so far. I just got to the point where, he and his friend get into a conflict. I'm not gonna spoil it any more than that for
yeah.
anyone who wants to watch it.
Oh no, it just didn't grab me. And so I was
Didn't bite
like,
you?
no. Yeah, it did bite me. So I was like, yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, maybe I'll give up. I gave up on,
I think you should finish it.
I
But
started watching, I Am a Murderer on Netflix, and I just went, "I can't watch more than one of these," and, oh my god, I'm only 3 episodes in, and I'm tired of this series already, so,
right.
yeah, the other one that I'm watching that I did find on Amazon Prime, it was interesting, is called Closed for Storm.
It's about a convenience store that closed.
No, it's about an amusement park that was started in, like, 1999, 2000, called Jazzland
Mhm.
down in New Orleans. They'd built this out. It took a number of years to get it up and running, but
Yeah.
Jazzland didn't do so well, so they resold it off to Six Flags, and it became Six Flags, what was it? I forgot, but it was a Six Flags park. It's in East New Orleans.
Was it
And they
Katrina?
were actually turning a profit. They were investing in new rides. They had, like, a Batman ride that came in, and they were doing pretty good until Katrina hit.
Right.
And the sign out front says, "Closed for storm." It still says that 17 years later.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. I've actually seen uh people online post, on Reddit, there's some subreddits for abandoned porn,
yeah,
places,
yeah. They
and
said the
that's
only
one
people
of
that
them.
go in there are vandals and, people that do that, they take
Well, now
pictures.
there's nothing. I'm sure there can't be anything to vandal anymore, but
There there's still the buildings. There are still some of the cars from the rides. Most of the buildings have been gutted.
yeah,
Marriott in 2007 not Marriott, Six Flags came in and took the assets that they thought were valuable, like the Batman ride, but they left the Ferris wheel, that kind of thing, because
right.
they were in a cost conscious mode at this time too. They said, there's been various referendums and proposals to get the park back up and running, but nothing's happened. And the people around there are so bummed because it's just an eyesore now.
Well, it's also got to be a safety issue too, because some of that stuff.
It is. They said it would cost $20 million to just demolish, but in terms of reconstruction, if they got a new park, it would only cost $60 million to rebuild, as opposed to starting fresh, which would be $200 million for a new park fresh somewhere else. So there's a lot of back and forth, and the people are bummed because their housing values have gone down instead of up since 2005. And, it's like, hey, we live next to this park. We're going to have a, neat view, and property values will increase. And they didn't. So they're kind of caught in a quandary too. Closed for Storm on Amazon Prime.
So Clinton says he watched that as well. He said Bright Sun Films does a lot of abandoned videos, and that was their first documentary.
Yes. I want to see more. These are kind of fun.
There's some really good pictures from that place, though.
Yep.
I watch videos, and I think on YouTube, and I've seen pictures of it as well. It's kind of interesting to see.
All right, give me another one.
All right, so I watched Cobra Kai season 5, which is the continuation of the Karate Kid story through a series, obviously, and I enjoy it. It's about what you'd expect. It's almost young adult / adult soap opera a little bit, but it's set in the Karate Kid universe, I guess is what I want to say. And so you got a lot of familiar faces. They also keep breaking out a bunch of smaller rolled people that were in the movie. So I'm like, who? And then, oh yeah, that guy.
Biff.
Yeah, they show little flashbacks or something, and it kind of clue you in who it was. So yeah, I mean, that's what I expected, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. So
I was skeleton number 4.
Right, skeleton number 4. Hey, there was one scene. Well, I don't know if I want to. It just came out, so I'm not gonna say anything about it, but specific. But I enjoyed it. If you like the Cobra Kai thing, it's there. It's really good.
All right, another one I found on Netflix is called Losers.
Oh,
and the title intrigued me at first. It's really, really good, and a lot of these stories are very inspirational. They're about either athletes or some form of competitor that is either ascending or at the top of their career, and it just implodes. And it's what they learned from it, what they took away from it. Sometimes they come back and achieve their goal, like, hey, I was going for, this particular race and failed, then finally won, or they failed, and went on and did something else even better and more meaningful, and it brought meaning to their life. So a lot of these stories, like, wow, how did I not hear about these people when I was growing up?
right.
They can range anywhere from the 80s, and you got these people in their 60s and 70s telling you a story about when they were young and athletic, or some of them are fairly recent, like 2016, 2017, when their story unfolds. So it's really a really good series. I believe there's 8 of them, and they're not long. I think they're about 35 minutes each. So they're good stories. Losers on Netflix.
Hey, by the way, Michelle says she was referring to you talking about the close for Storm. She says it could be worse. I survived Action Park. Do you know about Action Park, right?
Sounds familiar. Why?
There was a documentary about it on Netflix Prime, and about this place. It was in New Jersey, and as
that's what Clinton just said, Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, it was an amusement park where it was built by the seat of their pants. They just nails sticking out in the wrong places, and it was a major hazard. But they got around all the local laws and stuff and stayed open for quite a long time.
Thank you for riding the tooth chipper.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Keep your hands and arms and legs inside the ride at all time, or they may be torn to shreds.
Yeah, my boss has been up there. He talked about it too. He said, "Oh, you got to watch that." He said, "Oh, you got to watch that documentary." And I finally did. Yes,
Action Park. I'll look for that.
Yeah, you have to go look for that one. You got to watch that.
Okay. All right, that's all we have for the Pass Me the Remote section. We do have one in the media corner, but based on time, we're already in over an hour.
All right.
I want to just give you a quick link to an article from the Big Think about the dark wisdom behind Star Trek's Prime Directive. Maybe we should transfer this one over to the Topic is Trek show for Saturday or Thursday.
Okay, yeah.
And something out of the Geek Library. How tardigrades bear, no pun intended, bear dehydration.
I know. I thought that was funny.
So our question of the week for you this week is, what movie has the greatest plot twist of all time? Oh, got to think about that one, because usually movies are pretty darn predictable.
Oh, here you go. Michelle says there was a ride where they found teeth in it.
Grandpa's always losing his dentures. Don't worry about it.
No, I don't think that was the case. I'm telling you, that place is dangerous.
All right. That's our question of the week. What movie has the greatest plot twist of all time? It's not Action Park. I'll tell you that much.
It was UHF.
What? I don't think that even had a plot.
Where Milo at the end, he was an alien.
Free Willy?
Yeah, he said, I must go be with my people. And he took off.
Oh. Well, I'm going to leave that one alone.
Oh, right. Speaking of which.
Yes.
You know, the Weird Al, the movie Weird is about to come out in November 4th. Apparently, it's already got some really good reviews. The one with Daniel Radcliffe playing Weird Al. I am so looking forward to that.
You mean Daniel Radcliffe?
What'd I say?
Andrew?
Did I say Andrew? Danielle.
Danielle? Did he pull an Ellen Elliott thing?
Yeah. Right. So I'm looking forward to seeing that movie.
All right. You know what that music means. Time for us to skedaddle out of here. Thank you, everybody. If you want to get in touch with us, voicemail, email, whatever, phone number is 707-530. Click. Craig is working on clicking the thing.
Oh, yeah.
707-530-2428. You can text or you can leave us a voicemail.
I was actually pulse dialing it. That's why.
Be sure to make sure that the number returns all the way. Get your finger around to the finger stop and let her rip. Okay. And listen for the dial tone.
Yeah.
Before you start to dial. Otherwise, you may have a misdial and call another podcast. Okay, 707-530-2428 or email us technorama@chuckchat.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us once again, live stream or listening on the podcast a few days later. We will talk to you again real soon. Until then, Craig, give us a binary high five.
All right, 101. Thank you.
The recording has concluded. We will now return you to your regularly scheduled lives.
Collect calls.
Don't stay on the line too long. We're going to rack up those long distance charges.
That's right. Yeah. Clinton, we have a call coming in. It's a long distance call from California.
Hang on. I have a call on the other lines. You have multi-line calling? That's awesome.
Yeah. I know. I remember when I finally got that, I thought I was something special. No more dial busy signals.
Tone? Yeah, you can get busy signals on a dial. You have a collect call from Michigan State Penitentiary. Do you accept the charges? It's my son again. Which one?
That's right.
All right, everybody. We're going to end the broadcast. We'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.